Hello, my name is Elizabeth Orchard and I'm an outbound product manager here at ServiceNow, focusing on advanced work assignment. Today I'll be walking you through a simple implementation that takes you from just installing the plugin all the way through to a basic implementation of advanced work assignment. With that said, let's get started. Advanced work assignment leverages service channels, which is just another way of defining which tables are the inputs coming in from, which require routing. Now, anything that derives from either the interaction or the task table can be made into a service channel. So you can see some examples here. There are requests, incidents, cases, chat. Any of these items can be routed in addition to any of your custom tables that are children of those task or interaction tables. When these items have been set up as service channels, Advanced Work Assignment will pick them up and convert them into a work item. Now, a work item is a table that comes with the Advanced Work Assignment plugin, and essentially it's a token that's passed around for Advanced Work Assignment to be able to actually route these records. And the way that it routes is actually using queues. So on the screen here, you can see some example queues. There's priority HR cases, standard HR cases, IT chat, German chat. Now, the way that the queue system works is work items are pushed into these queues based on the criteria that you define, and then later on get pushed to the individual agents. Now, this criteria will go into further detail later on in this video, but it's essentially you defining conditions of when a particular work item should enter the queue. Now, when a work item has entered the queue, it then goes to it is offered to a particular agent. Now, each of these groups is assigned to these queues, and a queue can actually have multiple assignment groups assigned to it, in addition to the assignment groups being able to be attached to multiple queues. Now, when looking to assign a work item to a particular agent, Advanced Work Assignment actually looks to leverage the agent's availability, capacity, and skills to make a determination on which agent is best suited. Now, availability in this context means, are they online and active or not? Capacity looks at their current bandwidth to see if they're able to take on any more work. And skills, which are actually optional within Advanced Work Assignment, where we look to see if a work item coming in has a mandatory skill. And if so, then we need to find an agent that can handle that. So let's look into what's required for implementing Advanced Work Assignment. There are a number of plugins that are available as of San Diego for Advanced Work Assignment. The only required plugin is that of Advanced Work Assignment. However, there are a number of optional plugins also available based upon your use case. So if you wish to do routing based on skills, you also need to install the skills management and skill determination plugins. If your particular use case covers CSM, HR, or incidents, you can actually install some accelerators that provide a lot of the functionality that you need. So all you have to do is go in and activate them for Advanced Work Assignment to be turned on. And lastly, there's a plugin available for analytics, where you can actually install that and look to see how Advanced Work Assignment is working for you and your organization. Now let's get into what the process looks like. In this video, we'll be configuring the following: service channels, queues, assignment rules associated with the queues, rejection reasons, present states, and lastly, assignment groups. We'll then be showcasing how this looks within the system and how you can verify that it's working correctly. With that said, let's get into it. Perfect. So the first thing that we want to do is configure a service channel. Now in today's video, what we'll be looking to route is using Advanced Work Assignment is actually assigning incidents. So the first thing we want to do is go to the menu, go to the Advanced Work Assignment module, and click on Service Channels. We will then create a new one for Instant, as it does not already exist. Now, to cover the fields, what we're going to put in, the name is Incident. The inbox order is actually the order in which service channel items appear within the agent inbox. Now, what we're going to do is set this value to 100, as we already have chats in the queue, and we're looking to put these underneath chats, as incidents are generally lower priority than live chats. We then set the table to be Incident. And then the fields on the right here, you can see already populate with assigned to and assignment group fields. Now what this means is when we actually assign this to a user, the assigned to field will get populated with that agent's name along with their assignment group. You can actually modify these values depending on your organization needs. We have the ability to define an advanced condition, which is where we just look to say, okay, if we want a service channel that applies to only incidents from Germany, for example, we can set a condition here that looks to see who opened the incident, and then if their location is Germany, we'll be using this channel. However, in this instance, we are going to be routing all incidents through the service channel. You can also define the particular audio that you would like when a new alert comes in. And then also look to define the capacity and utilization. So just walking through each of these fields, the default work item size is the amount of agent capacity that is used when this work item is assigned. The capacity looks to see the number of items that are automatically assigned to an agent. And then the utilization condition actually looks to determine what actually constitutes an active item that counts towards the agent's workload or capacity. For example, if incident is in the active state, then what we want to do is make this count towards utilization. Now that we've configured our service channel, what we're going to do is create that, and then we're actually going to go ahead and create a new queue. So we can do that either through the service channel itself or through the drop-down menu available. If we click into here, if you have installed those accelerator plugin packs, you may see some queues that already exist. However, we want to create a new one. Now, our queue is only going to be taking in incidents that are of a high priority. So we're going to name it high priority. Set our service channel to be incident. And then what we want to do is define the work item routing condition. So for the conditions, you can either do simple, which is just using these drop-down options, or advanced, in which you can actually define a script. Now for simple, what we want to do is look at the priority and set it to be one of the following: critical or high. Now, on the right here, we see that there's a schedule field. If nothing is set, then it's set by default to be 24/7. If we go down to the bottom here, we see the two fields. There's target wait time, which is used for metrics and KPIs, and the max wait time. If this time is hit, then the work item will time out and it will actually be cancelled. With that said, we are not setting wait times today, so we'll go ahead and submit this queue. Now, because we do want these incidents to all be routed, we'll actually create another queue to handle those which are not high priority. So incident, medium, and low priority. Again, incident, Now down here, we want to be sure to set the condition so then there's no overlap from the previous queue that we have, which is why we're setting the condition to be priority is one of moderate, low, or planning. So let's submit that. Now that our queues have been set up, let's go ahead and define how they actually get assigned to particular agents. We have gone back to our high priority incident queue, and if we scroll down, we can see an assignment eligibility related list. What we're going to want to do is open up a new record here, and you can see that we actually assigned the groups that manage this queue. I have already set one up earlier, named IT Support. The next step is to define the agent assignment rule. Let's see what's contained within these records. So within here is actually how we define assignment within the group that we assign to manage these incoming work items. So what we're going to want to do is check incident assignment rule, and you can choose to assign by the person who was last assigned or by the person who has the most capacity. It is from this record here that you also allow the agents to reject the incoming incident requests and reassign incidents on timeout. So if you set a time here, if we say 1 minute, if an agent has not accepted an offered incident by 1 minute, they'll go ahead and try to reassign this incident to a different agent. You can also define after timeout present. So this is where you would say if an agent turns to the array present state or unavailable present state, that's when you want to reassign. You can also enable skills handling in here. So if you're doing skill-based routing, you click in here, enable skills, and then they'll factor skills into the assignment. So let's submit that and then create our assignment eligibility record. Now, one thing to note is, let's say no one is available within the IT support queue to manage this work item coming in. What we want to do is define an overflow. To do so, we actually create a brand new assignment eligibility record. We can use the same agent assignment rule, but instead we want to assign it to the backup, which is actually the engineering team. This will be when the IT support group doesn't answer, it will then be routed to the agents within ITSM engineering group. However, to ensure that the engineering group does not get bothered upon first receiving the work, we need to set the eligibility time. So if we set it to 1 hour, if an incident comes in and is offered to the original IT support group, but no one accepts it within an hour, it will then be routed to the ITSM engineering group to then be accepted by one of their agents. The next step for us is to review the rejection reasons. So what we're able to do is again go to the Advanced Work Assignment module and go to Reject Reasons. Out of the box, you have access to 4 separate rejection reasons. Let's go into one of them. So within within this record, we can see that the reason has a name called busy, and this is actually what the agents themselves receive when they're trying to reject a work item that has been offered to them. Now we can see the options are, is it selectable by agents right now? Should it apply across all service channels? If you do not select this, you need to define which service channels it applies to. You can also define if it is reassignable to an agent. So if a user rejects a work item that's come in saying that they are busy, however, there's no other agents available, that work item will actually be offered back to that same agent. So this is great if you do not have a large support team and you may have an instance where everyone rejects that work item, but you still need someone to handle it. Now lastly, there's also order, and this is just the order in which they are displayed to the agents. Perfect. So the next item we're going to be looking at is present states. Now these are the different states that the agents can set themselves to within the agent workspace. So let's go into one of them. Within these present states, first of all, you can set if agents are able to receive work items within the state, the service channels that are available for agents to receive within the state. You can show the different channels within the agent workspace. And then you can also apply this across all groups. Now, as we are wanting to add in incidents to be receivable when an agent is available, we would add it in here. However, you note that we do not see it within this list. That is because if we go back to the service channel record, we can see that it is not active. So ensure that your items are all active when you create them. So if we save that record and navigate back to the available present state, we can see that incident is now selectable. So again, to reiterate, what this means is if an agent marks himself as available, they can receive both chats and incident records. Now that this is configured, the last thing we want to double check is actually that the agents have access to both the agent workspace and are able to be routed via advanced work assignment. So let's go check that out. Now we'll be navigating to our IT support group. And what we see down here is that 2 roles have been assigned to this IT support group. The first is Agent Workspace User, so this role allows agents to access an agent workspace. Second of all, there's an AWA agent, which allows agents to receive work via advanced work assignment. Next up, let's go check it out to see how it works. So first of all, what we're going to look at is the agent workspace. So right now I am logged in as our agent Jake Barnes, and he's currently in the agent workspace. He's going to click on inbox and then go ahead and set his status to available. Now that he's available, we're going to go ahead and submit an incident record. And if you remember, the queue that we configured requires incidents to have a high priority. So let's set that. Now we're going to go ahead and submit this incident. What you can see here is that incident has been received by Jake Barnes, where he can accept and see the incident right from his queue. So one question you may be asking is, how do I know that this actually was working according to an advanced work assignment? What we're able to do is go back to the instance and go to the work item table. We can see in here that the incident that we created, it's actually a value in here. So let's see what that says. Within this record, we can see that the wait time was 11 seconds before it's accepted. It was not cancelled as work item 1 and does not fulfill any of the criteria outlisted by these true-false fields, such as was it rejected, did it time out. These fields are all very good to use for your reporting and metric needs. So that has been an example implementation for advanced work assignment just with a simple basic use case. As I mentioned earlier in the video, please look through the rest of the playlist to see more specific implementations that build upon this version. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.